Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. This is the Schmeisser SP-9. It's an AR-15 looking rifle, but it's in 9mm parabellum. So let's have a look at it and we're going to do a full review for you. Magazines clip in and out easily, and there's a push button there for when you want to take them out and swap them. The bolt holds open on the last round. You've also got the release here. You can pull it back on that, which of course is something from the original AR-15 design, or you can just pull it on the handle there. These handles are actually adjustable, so you can move it 45, 90 degrees wherever you want it.
Trigger is non-adjustable and breaks at 1310 grams, which is 46 ounces. The SP-9 is compatible with any Glock magazine, but Edgar Brothers also supplied an additional P-mag to go on the Schmeisser's own magazine, which has the holes in the back to identify the remaining capacity.
Rifle comes with a 10-round magazine, and this is 9mm parabellum ammunition, which is pretty economical. It's a bit difficult doing this with one hand holding the ammunition box, but the rounds clip in there, and this gun is compatible with Glock 17 magazines or Glock 9mm magazines, and the mag will hold 10 rounds, and there's also little indicator holes on the back which you can see to see how many's in it. So I'll put this 10th one in. Let's go do some shooting. It's quite a firm spring, but you do get used to it, and it's made a little bit more difficult by the fact I'm trying to hold the box of ammunition on camera as well. This is Hornery 115 grain full metal jacket ammunition.
Probably best not to do it on camera because YouTube might take the video down, but this strips in the usual way. There are two pins go through the action. If you pull the rear pin through, the action hinges open, you can remove the trigger mechanism, and you do need to take the extended bolt handle off to take the bolt out of the action for full cleaning, but it cleans in any other way, similar to old AR-15 rifles. Here you can see a group shot on paper at 50 metres. I'm quite impressed with that, and remember, it's only a 6x scope. If you want to go ultra precision, you can use more of an optic than that. There are 7 extension positions for length of pull, which extend from 290 to 255mm, which is 11.4 to 14 inches. Overall weight is 2.7 kilograms, which is £6 1 ounce. With the butt fully extended, overall length is 833mm, which is 32 3/4 inches. The rifle comes with a Negrini hard case as well as a cleaning kit and tools.
The rifle comes with a muzzle brake, but you can also remove it if you want to and add a moderator. The barrel is quite short. This is a 12.5-inch barrel on this version. There are other versions available with longer barrels, so you do need to make sure you're either using an end of barrel moderator, or if you go reflex, make sure it's not going to touch the fore end. The rifle comes with pop-up front and rear sights. The rear one's off at the minute because I'm using a rifle scope. It's a ghost string and it's windage adjustable. The front is a post and that's elevation adjustable. These fit on Picatinny mounting at the front and at the rear. Obviously you've got a huge amount of Picatinny mounting here, so you can put your rifle scope on it, no problem at all. Night vision, daylight, anything you want to use. I'm using a 1 to 6 by 24 daylight scope, which is one of my preferences. And if you also look here, you can see we've got ridges on top of the rifle which make sure there's no reflections coming off that rail. This octagonal fore end's got loads of M-lock, so we've got M-lock on the sides, M-lock on the bottom. It's fully floating, it's very stiff, and it's also really grippy, so you can hold the gun well into your shoulder when you're cycling the action. The rifle features last round hold open. It's compatible with Glock magazines, and it comes with a 10-round magazine. You can see there are holes in the back, top loads, and those holes in the back show you how many are in it. I'm just going to pop that into my pocket for 1 second because the magazine also actuates last round hold open. So to close the bolt, I can either use the right side bolt release here like that, which also works in reverse, and I can lift it up to lock the bolt open. If I swap the rifle round, you can see here there's a conventional AR-15 type bolt release which drops like that to close the bolt, or you can pull it back, flip it down there, and that will open the bolt. Looking at the rifle the other way up, there's a usual T-handle cocking system if you want to use that, but that doesn't reciprocate, and it's more of an echo of the M16 original that this rifle's fully derived from over history. But generally speaking, when you're using the rifle, the whole point of these large side handles is that you can put the rifle into your shoulder. You've got a good grip of the forehand there, so it's tight in your shoulder, and you can just pull the handle, let it go, and then every time you've got fast actuation. AR-15s are all derived from a semi-automatic operating principle where the gas blowback down a piston opens the bolt. That also makes it eject. So it does rely somewhat in operating at quite quick speed. Now, although you can use the rifle slowly and it will load, it might not always quite give you the full ejection you need. So it's quite important with this rifle, and I've definitely found it to work this way. You do need to pull the bolt handle back smartly, just let it go, let the bolt return spring, close it at its preferred speed, and it works perfectly. But if you try and operate it slowly and restrain it, it's less reliable. Works perfectly. This bolt handle here, you can actually take off, you can rotate it so it fits your fingers perfectly, and because of the grooves on it, it's got good grip on it down its length, but your fingers can quite happily just drag off it. So you make a claw, back, 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 and it just slides off. It's wonderfully smooth to operate. Length of pulley is adjustable. It's got a buffer tube, and it's also got Schmeisser's logo because the buffer tube's got a keyway, stops it rotating too much the back end, so you don't get what they call battle rattle on them. There's a locking lever on the underside here, and that extends from 12.5 all the way up to 14 inches. So you have got nice length of pull, and it means the rifle's comfortable to hold and shoot. Also on here, we've got QD anchor points. There's one on each side, and there's also one just behind the top of the AR-15 type grip. These are generic. This is a rubber one fitted, but you can of course fit any AR-15 grip you want to it. The back end of the rifle is a rubber recoil pad. It's not too thick, but it is nice and grippy, and it locks in your shoulder, which means again, you can keep that rifle pinned in your shoulder with your front hand, operating it quickly and smoothly. Safety catch is two-stage, it flips through 45 degrees, it's totally ambidextrous for fire or safe. And on fire, the rifle has got two-stage trigger, breaks about 1200 grams. It's pretty crisp and certainly very predictable. The magazines are super quick to swap over, push button on the side here, you can drop that out there and the next one pops back straight in like that. Very easy to use, quite economical to buy spares. If I operate the magazine release on the right hand side with my index finger, you can see the lever moving, but if I show you my index finger here, that lever will also actuate with your left thumb like that if you want to drop the magazines out from this side. Right, we're shooting at 225 metres because I've just been shooting a Creedmoor at it. That's just where we put the gong, it's just where I walk, where I put it out. I have actually had a couple of hits on this. The only thing is, I haven't calculated the ballistics yet, we kind of just dialed it out there. I've got about, what's that scope running? 5, I'm just trying to work out what the scope's on here. It's got about 6 mils of elevation on thereabouts. So we are hit it. We've hit it a few times, but I won't say we haven't shot a lot more than hit it when we've hit it. I think it's pretty much at the limit, but it is, you know, it's sort of there. So let's have another go, another 10 rounds. See it, Dave?
Fine again.
Oh, we're out. I'm on a 6x scope here, so I can't just quite see my bullet splash myself. which does make it a little bit harder to correct, and the plate is very well shot now. We are getting some hits on it, but the wind obviously has quite an effect on such a large, slow bullet. These are doing about 1,320 feet per second, I think. So I don't know what the BC is yet off the top of my head, but we'll probably do that in the main video perhaps. We'll talk about that. But what good fun, eh? I seem to remember calling this Glock thumb, loading these magazines back in the days when we used to shoot pistols. How many have I got in there? Yeah, I definitely got 10 in there now. Let's have another 10. It's actually really difficult to see the plate now because it's so splashed up. It's well clicked in.
The barrel is 12.5 inches or 318 millimeters. The forend is 233 millimeters long, so it gives ample support, but I hadn't actually noticed that the piece of Picatinny rail I'd attached on the M-lock had actually come loose on its front bolt and is bowing down slightly. It didn't seem to affect the way the rifle was shooting, and I didn't notice until I looked at the camera footage afterwards. The 16mm diameter barrel free floats fully within the 38mm diameter forend. There is also masses of space for air movement to cool the barrel if it ever gets hot. This 9mm parabellum obviously requires a lot less extraction force than equivalent 223. SAMI specification for maximum pressure on 9mm is 35,000 psi, which compared to 62,000 psi for the 223 obviously indicates the cases are going to expand less and come into less pressure contact with the walls of the chamber, requiring that primary extraction. Extraction itself is no problem, but you do still need fast bolt speed to make sure the cases are flung clear of the action.
And now we're out. Oh well, it's good fun. It's a bit of a challenge seeing the plate with a 1x scope, but actually it's a lovely sort of, well, 6x scope, sorry, because it's 1:6. You do get a lovely picture and a lovely field of view with low magnification, and of course this hook scope has actually got good resolution, so you can see it, but what a fun joy. I think if you were seriously wanting to push these rifles, you would probably put a bigger optic on. Mainly because I've got great bullet splash down there because I'm in a freshly cultivated field, but correcting for that quickly just before the wind changes ever so slightly out there isn't as easy. But again, what's it about? Is it about the smallest tiny groups, or is it about actually having fun and feeling like you're challenging yourself and really enjoying it, and you get that great satisfaction from that hit and that noise coming back?
Well, I hope you've enjoyed that review. I'm not normally an AR-15 guy, but I have to say, although I sort of enjoy them for what they're good at, I especially like this 9mm one because it's totally different. The ammunition itself is economical, it's not too expensive, and you can reload it if you want to as well. And another big thing is it makes big holes in the paper, so it's really easy to see your impact points. And of course, if you are shooting steel, pushing the ranges out a little bit too if you want to, it's quite capable. Obviously maybe not beyond 150 meters say, but you get a lovely trace watching the bullets fly, especially if you're using a low magnification scope with great field of view. It's actually a very calm, relaxing rifle to shoot. I would have liked to have added a moderator just to cut the noise just for my own comfort. Recoil's nothing at all. I didn't have a moderator that would fit just because of the length of the barrel on the forend. Doesn't really matter. If you had the rifle, you could get one without a problem to do that. One thing I'm always asked about AR-15 type rifles is, can I go foxing? Can I go hunting with one? Well, regardless of caliber, yes, they're perfectly accurate and capable of doing it. But what I will say is this, they do seem to all need that nice fast bolt operation to make sure you get smooth ejection, which is positive, keeping the kick in the case well out of the way, and also making sure that the spring itself is what drives the bolt home at the speed it wants to drive home to load accurately. And of course it'll work, but you really want to make that much noise when you're out foxing. For the first shot it probably won't matter, but if you need a backup or anything like that, you do start making a lot of noise, clunking and clanking around, and that's perhaps where an AR-15 isn't quite as suitable. I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying I wouldn't. But this one works beautifully well, and I really do like it. I do find it very rewarding to shoot, sitting, standing, kneeling, different positions, a bit of fire and movement. And of course, I have also had it down on a bipod with all the M-lock. I can put Picatinny rail on there easily, bipod on easily, and it's super stable and really enjoyable to shoot. So I have to say,
I do a lot of rifles. Some of them just sort of appeal to me. I kind of a bit sad sending this one back because I have enjoyed it so much. But you know, that's the nature of my job. They come, they go, they're with me for 4 weeks, and then I have to say au revoir, something new comes along, which hopefully I'll find just as exciting. But this one, I have to say, I do quite like it. And it is also super short, super compact, so handleable. It's just very appealing, especially for a club target shooter. Fits in your car easily, you don't need huge amounts of space to store anything like that, and the ammunition, as I've said before, is not expensive. Well, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, don't forget to click the notification bell so you can keep track of my regular uploads. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. How was that?
Right.
Ding, 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 ding. Right, I can do the